Welcome back. So here's a news of the day video for your Tuesday, May 3rd. And we've got day two of the playoffs starting tonight. That means the four series that didn't start last night start tonight. I love this time of year. So Ovechkin's going to play for the Caps tonight. And Ovechkin, even if he's at say 85%, he's still a better goal scorer than most of the rest of the league. Vanacek's going to be the starter. I We'll see how it goes. I would expect both Vanacek and Samsonov to get looks during this series, and fingers crossed that the Caps can make it a good series. Four-game sweeps happen, and I've seen people saying that could end up being a series that goes to four, and that's it. But I like longer series, and so I'm kind of hoping for at least six. But we'll see where that ends up going and how healthy Ovechkin really is, and whether or not the goaltending can hold up for the Caps, because it feels like that's the one thing that they would have a potentially serious concern with, not a major one, but somewhat serious concern if they can't find that goaltending against a team that's as explosive as the Florida Panthers. So Philadelphia news: Mike Yeo will not be coming back. So Chuck Fletcher having that conversation with him and stating basically that it's on him more than it's on Mike Yeo, and that he wasn't put in a position to succeed. It was a disaster of a season overall for Philadelphia, top to bottom. Very hard to find really strong silver linings. I'm sure that once I discuss them in my teams that missed the playoffs playlist, that I'll be able to find some kind of silver lining there. But yeah, I understand how it's a bit of a challenge right now. Chuck Fletcher's also revealed that the career of Samuel Morant is over. We had suspected this for a while. He'd been battling a knee injury and knee issues for years, and so it's officially done. The silver lining out of that is they're going to offer him a job in the organization. They're going to work to find out where he'd fit and what his career would be within the team. But I mean, it's nice of them to offer him a job in the team and keep him around. So there you go. Jared Spurgeon has been fined for a cross-check on Buchnevich in the game last night against St. Louis. So I'm not getting into the dollar amounts because it don't really matter and people get mad, but it's the maximum allowable under the CBA, which they always put there, maximum allowable, but it's a CBA thing. So anyways, yeah, Spurgeon's been fined for that cross-check. And then out of the pretty violent game between Tampa Bay and Toronto last night, Toronto kind of instigated some of it. I know Tampa instigated other parts of it, and then just, yeah. Anyways, both Maroon and Perry have been fined for unsportsmanlike conduct. Wayne Simmons has also been fined for unsportsmanlike conduct for Toronto, and Kyle Clifford has a hearing for the boarding incident on Ross Colton last night. So a very explosive start to that series. I expected a good series, but the violence really, and I think Sheldon Keefe was not really hinting at it as much as he was yelling it through a megaphone that this was what they were going to do. The Leafs have had questions about their being soft, and I know people got mad because Leah Hextall asked if Wayne Simmons was soft. It was a joking and it was whatever, but the reality is that I think Leafs players probably get that a lot of, can you play the tough hockey? Can you play those tough minutes in the playoffs? And so they came out and played game one like, yeah. Now, the one thing is, it's just game one, so they have to find a way to be able to sustain that. And when you're out there and you're playing that physical brand of hockey, it can wear you down. You can have injuries take place as a result. So they want to find that right balance between playing tough playoff hockey and not overdoing it and wearing themselves out quicker. So it'll be interesting to see if game two is a much quieter game. My thought process is probably going to be a more quiet game tomorrow. Between the two teams, because it is a huge game for Tampa. They can't be doing this kind of stuff in tomorrow's game, or the series could be a fast one in favor of Toronto. So they have to come out and win it, and they got to focus on the hockey side of it. Aaron Ekblad will play tonight for Florida. So Florida, who without Ekblad still had an amazingly good record. Aaron Ekblad's their best defenseman, and he's back. So this is going to be an interesting series to watch. Because, yeah, from every angle, it looks like Florida has it won. But we have seen many times over where it'll look like one team has it won. And then when the actual playoff round gets started, we're wrong. And we can tell right out of the gate that that's not what's going to happen. But, yeah, so for Ekblad and the Florida Panthers, pretty much all hands on deck. I can't think of anybody prominent that's injured right now for Florida. So, yeah, Ekblad being back is huge. UC Saros. So there's still the discussion of whether or not he's out 4 to 6 weeks. And it's possible he is. And the team's not telling us. The team's only confirming he will not play for the first 2 games against Colorado. And again, all I see is, Nashville's dead. Nashville's dead. This is 4 games. It's done. Maybe they'll quit after the 3rd game. The one thing with that is that teams don't really play that way. and in terms of playoffs, there are often surprises. So I'm not saying that they're done, they're finished. Yeah, if it's Riddick, it's going to be more of a challenge. But if Nashville can really drag the game down kind of into the muck and get Colorado engaged in a lot of the fisticuff kind of thing and distracted from their game, they've got a chance. They just have to make sure that it's very physical, it's very tight checking, and that they're able to limit the attack of the Colorado Avalanche, right? So we'll see. But Saros will not play the first 2 games, is all that's confirmed right now. I understand that's likely understating how long he's going to be out, but it's the playoffs. It's all cloak and dagger. Mike Smith, I felt bad for Mike Smith last night. When he handed that puck off, you could see that it threw everybody on the ice off that was wearing an Oilers jersey. If you were in blue, you were thrown off from that moment on. And then, of course, the puck ends up in the net. Now, Smith said after the game, it ended up costing us the game, his turnover. I don't think that it's necessarily just that. I know that might be what caused the game-winning goal, but my feeling on Smith is that, yes, that move wasn't advantageous to their winning, but what hurt Edmonton was they weren't able to score enough 5-on-5. And so that's something that I think the team is going to have to battle through, is LA's ability to shut them down 5-on-5, because they had 3 goals last night and 2 of them were on the power play. So if you're the Kings, you're not just happy with the win. You're happy that you took a team with McDavid and Draisaitl and Kane and a very explosive attack and limited them to 1 goal 5-on-5 in the entire game. So yes, Smith's turnover was the catalyst to what ended up being the game-winning goal. It's not the main reason. I don't think that the Oilers lose that game. I think the Kings played really well, and even though they allowed 3 goals, I thought Quick was fantastic. So which will also magnify the error by Mike Smith, because if he made that gaffe during the regular season, it'd be kind of a dang it, a misplay of the month kind of thing, and then it'd kind of be forgotten. When it's in the playoffs, it tends to linger a little bit longer, and if you lose that series, it really ends up being one of the main focal points when people talk about that series in retrospect. Wearing Habs gear today because it is a day of it's a national funeral for Guy Lafleur. So a lot of Hall of Famers are involved with this too, and they're telling great stories of Guy Lafleur. The one thing with Guy Lafleur is on the ice or off the ice, I never heard anybody say anything bad about him. So it is, it is tragic. Guy Lafleur, one of the best players in the history of the game. One of the before Gretzky, he was really the ambassador that was helping to grow the game, and Lafleur was just very personable, very down to earth, intelligent, well spoken, and he was a dynamic player who was go all the time. And so yeah, it's understandable that he touched as many lives as he did, that he had so many fans when he was playing, and that his passing would bring about this amount of attention and would warrant a national funeral. Winnipeg. So moving on to Winnipeg news, at the bottom of the board, Mark Scheifele. After the game, they won the game against Seattle. Of course, we were in the process of moving. I had no way to sit down and take notes and watch the game and then do a review. But after the game, Mark Scheifele basically saying that he's not sure on the direction of the team at this point, and he's going to sit down with his family and talk things over, and he's going to talk to his agent. And he basically made it sound like he may want out of Winnipeg. So Scheifele wanting out of Winnipeg is surprising, but it's not entirely surprising that in another down year and in a year that's been disappointing for the Jets, that there wouldn't be somebody who says, I think I want to go. Now, he may not be the only one. It may be that he was just speaking in the moment, and maybe he'll sit down with Kevin Cheveldayoff and they'll work it out. Of course, Cheveldayoff was given a 3-year extension to his contract, which I know there will be some Jets fans who don't agree with that. I know that when the season was rolling along, there were plenty of Fire Chevy posts that I saw, and so they re-signed Chevy, but the coaching staff has been let go with the exception of Wade Flaherty, and also told that while they're not being offered contracts, they can apply to have their jobs back when they're doing the hiring process. But yeah, so the Winnipeg Jets, there's some dysfunction there. And so now that the season's done, maybe we'll hear about something that was going on with the team too that wasn't helping with the. Maybe there's some dissension somewhere. Who knows? We'll find out, right? But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, about any of the items on this board. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I know there's an echo. It's fine. We'll get it all fixed up. It's the process. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.